Hi guys, how are you? It's Friday. Who's excited? It is Friday indeed. So, what does that mean? It means it's Feel Good Friday, of course. The most exciting day of the week, at least in my opinion, right? So, how is everybody? Waiting on everybody to come in. Oh, there is Miss Kathy, Anita, Lori. So happy to see you guys. So what's up, guys? What's up? How's your week been? How are you doing? And we're feeling good, Kathy says. Good. I have a tummy ache, but otherwise I'm feeling good. I think I ate my lunch too fast. Not that you needed to know that, but I mean, whatever. Hey, Joan. Oh, goodness. So what's everybody's plans for the weekend? You guys, it's Super Bowl Sunday coming up. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's going to be so nice to watch my team play and actually do it while I am sitting in my actual living room and not standing with a bunch of strangers and screaming at the TV like a maniac at the airport, which is exactly how I spent the, that's how I spent the Super Bowl last year, which I do miss because I was on my way to Tucson. So I'm sad that we're not doing Tucson this year, but it is nice to get to watch my team play and get to do it in my pajamas and, scream at my own TV. So yes, go Chiefs, go Chiefs. I have two Chiefs. I've got a lot of Chiefs sweatshirts, but I only have two Chiefs t-shirts, and somebody was not happy about the Chiefs. I'm sorry. Must not be a Chiefs fan. We don't discriminate. It's okay. Whichever team you're for is okay. I've got a bunch of Chiefs sweatshirts, but they're just so hot. And I only have two t-shirts, and I was thinking about wearing one today, and then I thought, you know what? These are so worn out. Like, I've washed them so many times you can barely see the writing on them. I'm a fan. It is Feel Good Friday. We're just chit-chatting while everybody kind of comes on in. That's why we're talking football for a minute. You guys know I always take the first few minutes just to kind of catch up with everybody and let everybody come in before we get started. Because I don't like for people to miss things. So, yeah. So let's talk, shall we? Sports ball. Big sports ball this weekend. I have a friend who calls it sports ball. He is very much not a sports person, and it cracks me up because he's like, how's the sports ball? That's so funny. Oh, goodness. Anyway, so let's talk. Lots of people showing up. Let's talk. It's Feel Good Friday. Hooray! Love Feel Good Friday. And I didn't mean to leave you guys without a picture, right? I normally, when I post the events for these Facebook projects, I normally try to post a picture of what it is that we're going to be making. And I didn't get a chance to take pictures of this. So I just put up like a generic Feel Good Friday with with text on it for the event photo. I wasn't trying to be sneaky, I promise. I just genuinely forgot to take pictures of the finished pieces. So no, hubby is not a Chiefs fan. He is not, which makes it interesting around here. My son's not a Chiefs fan either. He's a Bengals fan. Hubby is a Packers fan. So he was upset, with the Packers didn't make it. Anyway, oh my gosh. Okay, getting totally off topic. So I didn't mean to tease you guys or keep you in the dark about what the earrings projects for today are. I just didn't have a picture of them. So it is going to be a surprise to you, but that wasn't necessarily my intentions. But I mean, that's okay, right? Surprises are good. So what are we doing today? Well, Feel Good Friday means we're doing something quick and easy. We're going to be doing earrings, and we're doing 3 pairs of earrings. That's how quick and easy these are. Now, that being said, okay, these 3 pairs of earrings, there are kits in my Etsy shop for each one of these. I don't have a lot of kits, but there are kits for each pair of the earrings that we're going to do today. but you don't think that you have to buy the kits, right? Okay, I'm like the world's worst salesperson in the whole world. You don't have to buy these if you don't want to. Here's the thing. You can probably recreate these with your own items in your stash. But if you want the exact ones that we're making today, there are 3 kits available. They're over in my Etsy shop and they have everything you need. One of the projects, you do have to use your own wire. Okay, so as far as that's concerned, it's just 2 pieces of 22 gauge wire. I just couldn't include that in the kit, but the rest of them, you're going to get the head pins and the ear wires and the whole kit and caboodle. Okay. So just so you know, those are available. Worst salesperson ever. Something else I do want to mention, since I am talking about being the worst salesperson ever, you guys, I'm planning something for, it's either going to be late March or it's going to be the beginnings of April. There will be a kit involved with it. It will be a little bit more expensive than what I have. And there's going to be something else going on around it. It's just kind of a little teaser for you. And again, it's going to be one of those things where you can make it without the kit if you want to, but I will have the kit available for you. In the meantime, I'm just going to keep putting together these cute little kits, like, you know, 1 or 2 a month if I've got the materials to make them, particularly for Feel Good Fridays, because the projects are always easy, right? And so the kits should be easy. I don't want to give you a kit with, you know, like super hard things unless you want one of those, right? So that's what we got going on today. We're going to do 3 pairs of earrings. Now, the earrings theme is Valentine's Day. And actually, let me take that back a little bit. Sorry, I have to stop messing with my finger. I have a hangnail. It's driving me crazy. The theme for the 3 pairs of earrings is not necessarily Valentine's Day, but hearts. Okay. And I say that because I realize that if you buy the kit, you may not get it in time for Valentine's Day, but I had that in mind when I was designing these 3 pairs of earrings. And that makes these earrings like hearts you can wear all year is basically what I'm trying to say without being very eloquent about it. So the 3 kits are hearts. They're focused on hearts. They can be worn for Valentine's Day. You may not get them in time for Valentine's Day, but hearts can be worn all year. Sound like I had gravel in my mouth, all year. So that's where we're thinking. You know, that's what we're thinking with these pairs. Yeah, Donna says love hearts for all the time. Exactly, right? So you just need your basic tools for this. You don't need anything crazy. You know, just your pliers, round nose, chain nose, bent chain nose, and your cutter tool, and you're good to go, okay? All right, so without further ado, we've done enough talking. Let's get down to it. I'm going to show you, we're going to start with the easiest pair and work our way up. They're all 3 super easy. So, I mean, we could have started anywhere, but let's do it. Let's do it. Hearts all the time. Yeah. All right. A cord in the way. Always a cord in the way. All right. But it did brighten things up quite a bit, which is nice. Okay. All right. So let me show you what the first pair is going to be. Okay. Super cute. So easy and super cute. So check these out. You are in the kit and just in the project in general are these 2 vintage check glass hearts, right? And then this little guy right here, this is a bead frame. And it's got a Swarovski crystal in the bead frame. So with this kit, you're going to get all of this, right? But if not, I'm just going to give you an idea of something that you can put together with things that you've got in your own stash. The cool part about this one is that frame that goes around the Swarovski crystal. Guys, these are, I don't know how long ago that these bead frames came out, but there was a company that had these, and I don't know. I must have just gotten really excited about them and bought a bunch of them because I have more of these. And when I went to look for them to like repurchase them, they don't make them anymore. So I almost didn't include these, but then I thought, you know what? They're just the cutest little heart kits or hearts. I'm never going to use them all. I have some in other shapes too. I actually have some butterfly ones. But guys, you can't find them anymore. So I was kind of bummed about that. So if you like them and you want one, grab them because there's not a whole lot of them in the world apparently. All right, so this is super, super easy. All you have to have for this little project is you're going to need an eye pin, a head pin. You're going to have your beads, of course. There are 2 of these little silver round beads, a 6mm Swarovski crystal, your bead frame, a daisy spacer, and an ear wire, and like that's it. Super easy. So let's put this together real quick. I'll show you just how easy. These are so cute. So with the bead frame, it has a hole that goes all the way through so that you can see, you can put your crystal. It doesn't even have to be a Swarovski crystal. It can be whatever you want it to be. It's shaped here for a bicone, but honestly, I've put other things in here. I've put round beads in here. I've put seed beads, like a whole row of seed beads, and it looks really cool. So you don't have to use the bicone, but if you grab the kit, you're going to get a Swarovski bicone to go in there. Okay, it's just a cyan, just a red bicone. So I like to put these together down on the table because I just find that it's easier to kind of like scoop it in one motion. So I'm going to take my head pin, I'm going to go through the bottom of the frame, and then I need to catch the hole on the bottom of the bicone, right? And then pass through the top of the bicone and up through the top of the frame. Okay. So it's pretty easy. There's not a whole lot of struggle with these guys, which is also really cool, right? But gosh, they're so pretty. They're just so pretty. All right, so now I'm going to put one of our little tiny, these are just little 3mm silver beads. I'm going to pop that down on top, and then I'm going to just do a simple loop on the top of this. We're not even going to do wrapped loops. We're just going to keep it super easy. So I'm just going to bend the wire just like so. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with my cutter tool and I'm going to trim off. I'm going to leave myself about 1/4 of an inch to make my simple loop. Don't need a whole lot more than that. And it really truly kind of depends on how, how big you make your loops. But for me, 1/4 of an inch left over of the wire is plenty. I'm going to take my round nose pliers, grab the tip of the wire, and then roll back to create a closed loop. Okay. Now, if you want to do a wrapped loop there, you absolutely can. You've got enough room with your eye pin, or your head pin rather. I just didn't. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to take my eye pin. Speaking of, I'm going to go ahead and open that loop up and attach it to the loop we just made, and go ahead and close that back. And now I'm going to stack my hearts on here. And I'm a huge fan of upside down hearts. I don't know why. I just think they're super cute. I don't know. I'm going to put a daisy spacer on, and then I'm going to put the heart going the right direction. So we've got a little heart. Somebody said these look like cinnamon hearts. They do. They look like little cinnamon hearts. Red Hots. You remember Red Hots? That's what they remind me of. You can still get Red Hots, I think. I use them to make candied apples with, like cooked candy apples, not, you know what I mean. So the daisy spacer, yeah, I'll show it to you up close. It's just a really bright colored daisy spacer. I got these on a card of like 1 billion over at Michael's, and they're the really bright ones. Like the ones that I have in my stash regularly are that kind of antique, silver color. This one is really bright silver, so I thought it went really well with everything else that we've got going on here. But yeah, it's just a little guy. I would imagine he's probably only about 3mm across. He's not very big at all. Okay, and then our heart right on top. See how pretty that looks? Super cute, right? And easy peasy. Like, this is not hard stuff. I'm going to finish this off with another one of the little silver beads, just to kind of tie it all together. And then I'm going to do a wrapped loop at the top. Now, if you don't want to do a wrapped loop at the top, you don't have to. You definitely can, just stick with a simple loop if you want. Okay, so I'm just bending the wire, out of the frame. Okay, when I take the pliers away, I've got enough room in there to get my round nose pliers. See, I let the pliers do the measuring for me. Okay, so I'm going to come in with the round nose pliers. And I'm going to take that wire up and over the top barrel of the pliers, roll the pliers out of the way, take the wire over to the other side, and I'm going to switch hands. And then I'm going to wire wrap in that space. And I've got enough room for about 3 wire wraps. Okay, so we've got our little wrapped loop at the top. Just going to trim that off. Ooh, cinnamon whiskey. That sounds like That sounds really good. That sounds like the perfect remedy for a cough, actually. All right, and there we go. All we got to do is just add our ear wire to this. Like, it doesn't get any easier than that. And these are so stinking cute, right? Super, super cute. So let me talk through this for just a second. Because let's say you don't want to buy the kit, that's fine, right? That's totally fine. You can do this with whatever beads you've got in your own stash if you want to. If you don't have a bead frame, that's okay, right? Just use a really pretty heart bead that you've got, right? If you've got 2 of them, just pop them on a head pin, give them a little loop, and stack some beads on the top. Like, beautiful things do not have to be complex or complicated, right? But I thought these were super, super cute. A great way to kind of kick off Valentine's Day. You know, that feeling is in the air for sure. So super cutie patootie on these guys. So that's earrings pair number 1. So I'm going to sit these over here to the side. At the end, I'll try them all on so you can see what they look like on, because they definitely look different on than they do, you know, hanging. All right, so the next set is not in red, okay? This is definitely a heart that you can wear all year, these little guys. So we have these turquoise check glass hearts with a beautiful flower, has that kind of gold accent to them, if you will. And then some check glass beads. These are little 4mm check glass beads. And we're just going to make a little bundle of those beads and put them together. So again, the kit is in the Etsy shop if you want this exact pair. If not, just follow along and use some beads that you have in your own stash, right? These are super cute, right? I love these hearts. I think they're super, super cute. And I love the muted color combination that goes with these. I feel like, you know, sometimes hearts can be very over the top, but this is definitely like spring and summer to me. I would wear these all day, every day. So, all right. I'm going to lay those down. I'm going to get our materials together here for these. So we've got our heart, and we have 7 little check glass beads. So there are 3 in this like bluish color. We've got 2 that are very peachy, and then these guys, which are kind of rose gold, coppery, you know, I don't even know what color you would call those. So we've got the ear wire. And then we need an eye pin, and we need 7 head pins, okay? And again, all of this is in the kit if you just want to, you know, one-stop shop it and grab the kit. And then 4 little 4mm jump rings, okay? All right, so let's put this guy together. We're going to start by doing our wrapped loops on all of our little check glass pieces here. So I'm just going to thread all of these on to a head pin. I'm just going to go ahead and do all of them all at the same time. Kind of make it feel like an assembly line, right? I love that earrings can be simple, but be so gorgeous, you know? Like, it doesn't have to be complicated for somebody to be like, oh, I love your earrings. And then you can be like, oh yeah, let me make you a pair, you know, because it didn't take a whole lot, you know, it didn't take a whole lot of time. That's my thing. It's like time. I don't have a lot of that. So, all right. So we're just going to do wrapped loops on all of these. You don't have to do wrapped loops if you don't want to. You can definitely just do simple loops. Go ahead and bend the wire. Coming in with the round nose pliers, we're just going to follow the same steps, up and over, rolling the pliers out of the way, taking the wire over to the other side. And these are the thin, these are the thin head pins. So they're the ones that I can wind them up. I love that. I don't know why. It's just that weird satisfaction I get. See how it winds around the tip of the pliers? Just something about that just makes me so happy. So Kathleen says, I love that they're not traditional. I know, right? You don't always, your hearts don't always have to be red. All right, so keep going here. These are super, super cute. I think these might be my favorite pair. It's hard to decide though, because the next pair that I'm going to show you guys, I'm so excited about. Like, I love them because they're in my color they're in my favorite color family, which is red and black. Oh, they're so good. But it's not that like over the top Valentine's red. It's like a red that you can get away with all year with everything else, you know? All right, so just gonna keep on going here. You guys have seen me do a wrapped loop. If you've seen me do it once, you've seen me do it a million times. So I feel like we don't need to spend a whole lot of time on our wrapped loops today. It's just Feel Good Friday, right? But man, that satisfaction of winding that around the pliers, I don't know why, but it just makes me incredibly happy. Oh, thank you, Nicole. Nicole says all 3 kits are fabulous. Thank you. I'm so glad that you think so. You know, and I gotta say, not to toot my own horn, but I wanted to price these at a place where I feel like it's accessible. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna do more expensive kits along the line, you know, along the way. I gotta keep my lights on just like everybody else. But, you know, when it comes to earrings, sometimes you just want to spread the happiness around. That's kind of how I felt with these earrings. I was like, you know, just spread the happiness around. Doesn't have to be expensive. All right, we've got 2 more, and then I'm going to trim off all of the... Oh my gosh. There's only 1 of the kits left? You got to be kidding me. We haven't even made those earrings yet. Dang, guys. I should have made it like a lot more. We'll see what happens here, because if you guys still want these and they're all sold out, I may have to make some more for you guys. Oh, wow. That was fast. You guys are fast shoppers. You haven't even seen the cool pair yet. I mean, they're all cool, but like, you haven't even seen my favorite pair. I think it's my favorite pair. I don't know. I really love these too. Okay, so we've got our wrapped loops, and I'm going to come in and trim off. No playing around here. No kidding. That's pretty awesome. I'm excited about it. So if you guys want to know what it is that you're actually going to fund, just so you know that like the money that you guys spend on things is going to a good place, I am definitely going to take what I make and it's going towards a label printer. So that I can print labels for packages and, you know, I don't have to sit and cut them all out by hand. So I'm excited about the potential of having that in my life. So thank you. All right, so we've got all of these together. Now we're going to put together the little dangle that goes at the bottom. So I'm just going to take my chain nose pliers. I'm going to open up a 4mm jump ring here, and I'm going to thread on 1 of our beads and close it back. Okay, and I'm just going to continue to add jump rings, and I'm going to put I'm going to put 2 beads, 1 on either side of the jump ring. So I'm going to hook onto that one that we just added to our bead, and I'm going to thread 1 check glass on one side. I'm going to let go, okay, and then I'm going to thread 1 on the other side. So we've got a little bundle of 3. I'm going to close that back. Okay, I'm going to take another jump ring, open that up. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. A check glass on one side and a check glass on the other side. Actually, I'm going to use this kind of peachy color. Close that back, and we've got 1 more jump ring and 2 more of our little check glass beads. Goodness, hold on. What's happening here, buddy? Oh, I picked up the wrong end. I was like, why is there only 1 bead on that jump ring? All right, that's the thing about making your little bundles, because unfortunately you have to like put them down, right? You have to sit them down, and then when you pick them back up, you lose your place. All right, so there we go. Okay, and this will be the last one. And before I close this, I'm going to go ahead and thread on our eye pin and then close that back. Okay, so now this is ready to go, and I don't have to sit that thing down and pick it back up again. And I'm gonna pop on our check glass heart here. I'm so in love with these hearts. Guys, if you want more projects with these hearts, they come in some other colors. I can see what I can find. So let me know. Let me know how you feel about these guys. I've seen them in some other really pretty kind of muted colors, like our pastels, our muted pastels here. All right, so I'm gonna do a wrapped loop up here on the top. Okay, so round nose pliers, up and over, making it all the way around here. And then we're going to do a little wire wrap here. If you want to do a just a simple loop, you can, as always, unless I tell you otherwise, right? And there we go. All we got to do is just add our ear wire to this guy. How pretty are those? Right? Are those not just beautiful? Like, I love that they're hearts, so you can get away with wearing these, you know, all year. But you can also wear them on Valentine's Day, right? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I guess we get in a trap with hearts sometimes, particularly if they're red, because we're like, oh, that's just Valentine's Day. But, you know, these are going to be beautiful with everything. Like, I definitely am going to wear these in the spring for sure. Super, super pretty. All right, so that's 2 pairs down. We've got 1 more pair to go, and I'm super excited to show this one to you guys. I love these. Love these, love these, love these. Now, being completely transparent, I found a pair of earrings very similar to this on a website, okay, and I just recreated them. So I didn't come up with this exactly. I did pick out the beads and everything that goes with it here. We've got our vintage. There's actually a lot of vintage check here. So the hearts are gonna be vintage. Guys, my battery is running low. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to unplug. I'm afraid I'm gonna have to unplug my microphone. Let me talk through this first though. But you've got the vintage hearts. They're check glass, table cut with the little flower on them. These guys are also vintage check glass, those kind of moon-shaped ones. And then these kind of cathedral check glass beads are also vintage. So you've got 3 vintage check glass beads, and then these little guys as your dangles on the bottom. The only part in this kit that is not included is the piece of the hematite wire, okay? I'm using 22 gauge hematite German style wire to put these little guys together. So that part you're not going to get, but you do get all of the rest of this. So you've got 2 head pins, your ear wire, you've got your pieces of chain, and then of course all of your beads here. There's an extra little guy there. Okay, so we're gonna put these together. But the first thing I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna have to unplug. Okay, I have to unplug or we're gonna lose each other. So I have to unplug my microphone, so the volume may change. I apologize. All right, let me. Oop. All right. Can you guys hear me okay now? I mean, there's not really anything I can do about it much. I know I probably sound pretty far away. But we got to do what we got to do because the iPad was about to die. Okay, so we're going to put this one together. Okay, I'm going to use some of the hematite wire. It doesn't take a lot. And honestly, if you don't have hematite wire in your stash, you can use silver if you want to. If you've got artistic wire, you can even use like black if you've got a color, right? So there's that. That's a little bit much. Okay, so what I'm going to do is these little guys, our vintage hearts here, are drilled through the front. So I'm going to take my hematite wire, put it through just like that. Okay, and we're going to treat this guy like a briolette. So we're going to take the 2 wires and I want to crisscross them and make a little triangle over the top of the bead here. Okay. And I'm going to take one of the wires and bend it straight up and down. And the other wire, I'm going to bend it out this direction. Okay. Now I'm just going to take this wire, kind of wrap around a little bit. chunky monkey, whatever makes you happy, okay? Messy wraps, all good. Okay, that is done. I'm gonna kind of clean that up just a little bit because it's kind of off to the side a little. It's so funny because I try to be messy and then I'm like cleaning it up. All right, so there is our heart, right? And now we're just going to stack on the rest of our check glass beads. So we're going to drop this guy on, and then we're going to drop this little cathedral guy right on there. And I'm going to do a wrapped loop at the top here. And guys, these will look pretty just like they are. Like, you don't even have to add the extra chain and stuff to these if you don't want all of that extra dangle business going on. These look really cool just the way that they are. All right, so up and over, taking the wire around, and then I'm going to bulk that up too, just to kind of match the one we already made. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to trim off. Okay, now I'm going to stack these guys up. So your little pieces of chain, one of them's going to be a little bit longer than the other. And of course, you're getting 4 pieces of chain. Are these both the same length? Surely not. No. Okay. One of them's a little bit longer than the other, so that they kind of hang at a tier. And you can just stack up these little beads however you want to. It doesn't have to be exactly the way that I do it. Okay. I am going to wire wrap these directly to the pieces of chain though. So you can either do that as you are doing the wire wrapping, or you can open up the bottom link of the chain. It's just kind of hard to do because the chain pieces are so very, very tiny. So for me, it's just easier as I'm wire wrapping just to slide that guy on there and just pop that little piece of chain on before I do the wire wrap part. Okay. So I'm going to grab with my bent chain nose pliers to hold on to that. And then I'm going to use my pliers, my other pair of chain nose pliers, to do the wire wrap. And looks like I only have room to do 2, which is fine. Okay. So trim that off. Oh, I didn't even get it. What am I doing? There we go. All right, so there's one of those, and I'm going to do the other one. And it's just these little disc beads, these little black, kind of flat little rondelle guys. Super cute. Same thing, just a wrapped loop. And before we do the loops, or I'm sorry, before we do the wraps, we're going to go ahead and attach it to the bottom of our piece of chain. Okay. Just pop that on. And then just wire wrap. We're going to trim that off. And we are good to go. All right, so now to put this together, I'm actually going to use the ear wire as our connection. So I'm going to open up the ear wire. The first thing I'm going to thread on is our heart. Then I'm going to thread on one of the links of the chain and the other link of the chain. And then I'm going to close that back. So you don't need any jump rings with this one at all. You can just have it all connected right with your ear wire. Now it does make the ear wire a little crowded, so you do have to be a little bit more careful when you go to close it, but there's plenty of room. And ta-da! These are super, super cute. They're a lot of fun. You've got lots of vintage beads going on here, which I absolutely adore. Like, I'm all about the vintage beads. And again, you can get away with this for Valentine's Day, but honestly, because of the black that's in this, it becomes one of those neutrals that you can wear. As long as whatever it is that you've got goes with red, right? You can, I mean, it doesn't have to. You can wear bright yellow with these if you wanted to. Who am I to tell you? But But I definitely feel like these earrings work for all year. They don't just have to be for Valentine's Day because the hearts themselves are not red. I feel like changing it up and making the hearts like a black kind of takes it, you know, I saw the word goth go by. I definitely get kind of a goth, maybe kind of rock and roll feel with these. But honestly, that's really going to kind of depend on what you pair it with, because these could be, you know, you could make these work with just about anything. So awesome. All right, I'm going to turn you guys around and I'm going to try all of these on so that we can see what they look like hanging from actual ears. And then we will part ways. Wanda says, I love black hearts. They match my cold black heart. Wanda, I'm calling BS on that one. You are a mess. I love it. And I mean mess in like the best way. I don't mean like, gosh, what a mess of a person. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I hope you guys can still hear me okay. Sorry about not having the microphone. But let's go. Let's try on these guys just so we can see what they look like. The little red ones that we did first. Super cute. I love them. I love them. I love them. All right, so there are those. They're so cute, right? Like, I can see these being worn all year. Forget Valentine's Day. We don't need no stinking Valentine's Day. We just like hearts. They're just pretty. Super, super pretty. Wanda says, oh, I'm a mess, but I totally own it. I love these guys. These are, gosh, these are so good. These are just so good, right? How pretty is that? They don't go with my red shirt today, but they are really, really beautiful. These are definitely all year earrings, right? Who cares what the holiday is? Those are fantastic. Really pretty. Okay, and then last but not least, are these guys. I adore these. Now, just so you know, right, if you've purchased this kit, I already cut the pieces of chain for you so that they're at 2 different lengths. Feel free to cut them even shorter. If you are not into like super long earrings, these are hard to see with the lighting in here, but if you're not into super long earrings, you can leave the chain part off, right? Or you can cut the chain pieces and make them a little bit shorter. But I love these. They are very, I don't know what the word is. They definitely do have that, that vintage vibe to them. Like, I mean, you just can't get away from that, right? People who don't know beads may not realize that these are vintage, and that's okay. But they kind of have that kind of feel to them, right? They definitely have that. There's just something about them. I can't put my finger on it. Yeah, sexy and sassy. I totally agree. So there was a question. Let's see. Are the green hearts check glass? They absolutely are. Retro. Yeah, retro. They're very retro. I would definitely consider those retro. I kind of feel like these are a little retro too. They kind of have that retro vibe to them, right? Like this was your rock and roll retro, and this is more of like your boho retro. Super cool. Super cool. I hope you guys have enjoyed these. Feel Good Friday. I hope I've given you some inspiration. If you grabbed the kits, thank you so much. If you didn't, I hope that I have given you some inspiration to kind of think about the things that you've got in your own stash, because earrings are one of those things that you don't have to use a lot of materials on, right? So if you've got 1s and 2s with beads and they're your favorites, figure out a way how to make those the focal and the star of a really cool pair of earrings, right? And if you just can't figure out what to do with them, just stack them up, right? Even just that hanging from, forget that bottom piece, just 2 beads stacking up with an ear wire, it's the best way to show off your very favorite beads, because earrings are seen by everybody. You might not necessarily get to see them, but everybody around you can definitely see them. So it's a cool way to show off what your favorites are. More kits, Marcy says, more kits. Oh my gosh, yeah, more kits. Yes, yes. So here's my thing with the kids. I am working on putting together a whole stash of wonderful things to make kits with, and I want them to be affordable kits. I don't want to, force you guys into buying a $70 kit unless you just want to. Then we can talk. But I do have lots of things that I can make kits for. Maybe I won't always show them on the Feel Good Fridays, because I don't want Feel Good Fridays to always be about the kits. But yeah, I will keep kits coming for you guys because they're fun. And why not share all of the beads that I have, right? I can't wear them all myself, so super fun. I'm glad you enjoyed them. And like I said, if nothing else, at least I'm giving you some inspiration to use some of the favorite things that you've got in your stash. I hope that I'm showing you ways that maybe you forgot about. Maybe it's a technique you hadn't used in a while. The techniques for Feel Good Friday are always going to be simple and easy and quick and fun, but that's the way sometimes you need it to be. You don't always have to learn super crazy, insane techniques for things. We'll save those for other days. Feel Good Friday. Feel Good Friday. All right. I'm sorry. I was reading Jones. I just saw this comment go by that said, "Who are you in reality?" I'm like, what? Who is out there that Jonah's questioning? Like, that's weird. Everybody here is harmless though, right? Make-alongs, yeah, make-alongs are fun. They do look a bit Victorian. I agree, Katie. Okay, so what's happening, guys? Let me just kind of fill you in. This afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern time, I'll be over on the Jewel Loom site to host a Facebook Live. It'll just be me. Miss Jules has given me the Fridays to do solo, so I'm going to be making a really fun bracelet on the original Jewel Loom with some mixed beads. I'm using some 5mm Druck beads, I'm using some 3mm check glass beads, and I'm using some 2-hole checkmate tile beads. So it's going to be a fun project. If you want to come and check that out, that's at 4 p.m. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern time, I will be teaching a virtual Michaels class. The last I heard, the spots were full. I don't know if I didn't even realize there was a cap on spots. I had no idea. So if you signed up for those, I cannot wait to see you tomorrow. If you've not signed up for those, keep trying, because sometimes people get busy and, they remove themselves from the list. So keep trying with that one. And what else? Let's see. So next week, we already talked about what our projects for next week are going to be. We're going to work on a tassel necklace, and we are also going to do a jewel loom project using some large beads per request. All right. So that's what we've got going on coming up, just so that everybody is aware. In the meantime, I am going to be working on more kits for you guys. I've got a lot of stuff from Michaels that I have on the table. I'm doing some marketing campaigns and designs for marketing campaigns, as well as planning my classes. So all of the classes are on the books. I'm all the way up to May at this point. So we're planning May, June, and July classes right now. So yeah, I'm having to think about summertime, and it's still like 30 degrees outside. It's weird, but yeah. So just so you guys know what I've got going on behind the scenes, just in case you were curious. I'm not just sitting here playing with beads. I got a lot of stuff going on. I'm not complaining though. It's all good stuff. It's fun. So that's it for me. I will see you guys at 4 p.m. I will see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. And if I don't see you either one of those times, I will see you next week. Have a wonderful weekend. Go Chiefs. Bye, guys.